Hi there and welcome along to another workout for you to row along to. Look at this, I'm outside again, but just so you know it's a different video from last time, I've turned the machine around. Anyway, today we're going to do 30 minutes, but this is going to be one of the hard workouts, okay? So it's not going to be an easy 30, it's going to be a good old tough 30. What we're going to do is we're going to split it into 5-minute chunks, and you're going to do them at 22, then 24, then 26 strokes per minute, and your pace is going to be 2k plus 16, then plus 13, then plus 10, okay? Now you can shift that 1 second either way if you wish, depending on how you feel. If you want to go a little bit faster, go a little 1 second faster. If you want to go a little bit slower, go 1 second slower, all right? But it's meant to be a tough workout, okay? That's important, that this is one of those ones that I put in the mid tier, okay? So it's going to be tough, you're going to have to push in order to complete, but there's going to be no worry about whether you're going to complete or not, all right? So let's get into our 4-minute warm-up as always. Now set up your machine by doing the drag factor. Oh no, that's on the other side of the machine. Hopefully you know what the drag factor is if you're in a Concept 2, otherwise check out the video I have on the YouTube channel, but make sure and just set it on the whatever machine you're using to a point where you can really feel like you're connecting with the machine, but it doesn't feel like you're rowing a cruise ship down the river, all right? Next up, go to your monitor and set it to eye height so you don't have to look up or down, unless of course your monitor's there, in which case, but make sure when you're rowing that you're looking straight ahead and just glancing at the monitor, all right? I don't want you rowing like this. Finally, the foot straps should cover a point in your feet that allow you to get to the front of the machine nice and comfortably with your shins pointing straight up, all right? If they're too low, then you might go flying straight past. If they're too high, you might not be able to get to that point. So, warm up, 4 minutes, 18 strokes a minute. Just follow along with me and I'll guide you through it. In 3, 2, 1, go. Effort-wise for this warm-up, really I just want to make sure you're connecting with the machine and you allow your body to warm up. So it's like a 40 to 50% power. Pace-wise, you're looking at around about 2k plus, anything between 2k plus 20 to 30. It's good if by 2 minutes into this warm-up, you've increased your pace to around about 2k plus 20. Remember, the first 2 minutes are always just a row like this, and the next 2 minutes are drills just to get you nice and warm. And of course, if you don't know what I'm on about with this whole 2k plus pacing, then what it means is that you row a 2,000 meter time trial, and then your resulting time divide by 4, and that will give you the average pace to cover 500 meters. So if I did one in 8 minutes flat, my average pace would be 2 minutes. So when I say 2k plus 20, that means I would row at 2 minutes and 20 seconds. 2k plus 15 would be 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and so on. It's not your fastest 500 meter split, it's the average across the whole 2,000 meters. And that's important. Right, so 6 more strokes, and then we'll put one foot on the floor. Might try to put my left one on the floor first today. Mixing things up. 2 more. Right, last one here. Let's put one foot on the floor, continue to row. See how seamless that was? Oh. And make sure to really give the same amount of a shove, same amount of a push from the front as you would in your normal stroke. This is about balance, it's about compression. It's also about analysing whether one of your legs is weaker than the other. Let's swap feet. So if you see a really noticeable drop in pace or increase in pace between the two, there's a good chance one of your legs is stronger than the other. For instance, I'm going 3 seconds faster on my left leg than I do on my right leg. What's all that about? Okay, both legs in, get your legs nice and straight, and just row with your back and your arms. Swing over your hips, pull in your arms, then push out your arms and swing over your hips. And that swing over your hips is really important. Try and get a good posture forwards onto your sit bones. Keep those sit bones connected to the seat. Even when you swing back, make sure all the force is going through your sit bones. Go to the front of the machine, straight arms, and push out from the front, keeping those arms straight. Get that forward lean in, push. Don't have to be too far back. All you're doing is connecting with the flywheel and getting that timing right of the point when you snap into the stroke. It's really important. And holding that forward lean with straight arms. Got enough for one more? Yeah. There we go. That should be us all warmed up. And trust me, the main row itself will get you warm. So, have a quick drink, move up and down the rail, and I'll quickly fly through one more time what it is we're doing today. All right then, so today's row is going to be 30 minutes split into 5-minute chunks. Now as for your monitor, you can go ahead and just set 30 minutes and set your splits to 5 minutes if you wish, or you can go to the ErgZone app where this will sit there as RA22, okay? And I'll put up two versions, one that'll have all those splits of the intervals and one that'll just be the straight 30, because just the way that the ErgZone app is going to work by having the warm up and the cool down, there is a chance that there's going to be a delay as you go through all of these intervals, and you might not like that. So therefore the straight 30 may be your preference, so you can pick that one instead. All right. You're going to do these at 22, 24, 26 strokes per minute. You're going to go through that twice, and your pace is going to be at 2k plus 16, then plus 13, then plus 10 with a like 1 second give either side if you wish. All right. Less talking from me, more rowing. We've got 30 minutes together, so I might as well talk during the row. Okay, you ready for this? So 22 strokes per minute at 2k plus 16, in 3, 2, 1, go. I might take 1 or 2 strokes just to get the stroke rate right. 22, 23, I'm happy. And also your pace, I want to make sure I'm not overcooking it here. The 22s are your lifeboat. It's going to be really easy to want to push the 22 because 2k plus 16 is going to feel quite easy, but trust me, by the time you hit the 24 and then the 26, you're going to be glad of the fact that you held this at 2k plus 16 or plus 15 if you wish. Like I said, I'll give you that 1 second leeway, and that also means if I drop down to 202 instead of my intended 201, I'm not going to panic about you seeing it on screen. So I'll talk technique in a second, but more pressing is that you'll see I have the badger from my microphone, and I said that the next time I wore it would christen him. I've got 2 of them. This one's a boy. And after a few comments from people, I have a name. It's a mixture from a few people. I'm stretching this out, aren't I? The microphone will from now on be known as Ergo Van Badger. Ergo, obviously, because that's what we're rowing on. Badger, because he's a badger. And then the van is tribute to Eddie Van Halen. So, Ergo Van Badger. He was going to be called Mike. When that was first suggested, I thought, oh, that's the perfect name. And then Sandy said about, surely it should be something Van something. And then someone else said it should have a rowing specific name, so there we go. ergo Van Badger. Right, we're 3 minutes in, should be nice and warm. You can start thinking a little bit about technique as we go through the transition in just over a minute and a half time from 22 to 24 strokes. Remember, the rowing stroke is all about that push from the front of the machine. That's where a good 60% of your power comes from, is from that shove with your legs as you push the machine away from you. However, it's also important that you finish nice and strong with a good powerful pull of the handle. So the front may be a push but not a pull, but I still need you to pull. There's a good 10% worth of your power to be had from here. And if you just have a lackluster, ordinary finish, you're not only losing out on power, but just a good upper body workout. Okay, 10 seconds to go. And we're going to go up to 24 strokes a minute and 2k plus around about 13. One more stroke. Here we go. Won't feel too drastic a stroke or pace change, but you should at least recognize that extra shove from your legs that you need in order to increase your stroke rate. Shouldn't really feel like you're suddenly really overdoing it. And notice that I'm talking about adding in more leg power. I'm not talking about pulling harder. It's because the pulling motion or action is kind of an automatic relation to your leg power and your stroke rate. So by pushing harder with the legs, I'm having to kind of brace and hang off the handle that little bit more powerfully. And as a result, the finish, as I pull the handle in, kind of just takes care of itself. Unless, of course, you're in the camp that hasn't ever thought about that strong finish, that you've just been a kind of dumper, kind of person that just finishes low with a little twist. See that quite a lot? This kind of real soggy finish. It's not what we want. We want the handle to come in a straight line from the front of the machine. Try and keep those wrists as flat as possible. And then what should happen is the handle will finish at round about sternum height, maybe a tad lower, maybe a tad higher. Your body's different to mine, but mine definitely finishes at sternum height. And then squeeze those shoulder blades together as you finish the pull to squeeze every last watt out of the stroke. Now some folks, you'll see them finishing with flared elbows rather than sending them through their sides like I do. If that's what you do and it works for you, that's perfectly valid. It's more of a on the water technique, to be honest, but if you've learned how to row that way, don't let me change it. There's certain rowing technique things that are common and important, but how you finish with your elbows is up to you. The return of the handle is another one, but I'll get to that after we get into our increase to 26 strokes a minute, which is in 15 seconds time. Let's take a moment to breathe. Although someone just lit a fire somewhere. One more stroke. Here we go. 26. So again, just enough pressure to increase your stroke rate, which should also give you that spike in pace to get to round about 2k plus 10 plus or minus 1 second. Now, as we go through this 5-minute split, you will start to feel it gets harder. And that is the point of this row, is as you get here, you start to feel it get tough. That exposure to hardship that I often talk about. But the key is, you know, you've got another 3.5 minutes in you at this pace, and then we're back down to 22 again. In the 22s, it may take 10 strokes or so to get the rhythm right, but when you get there, it will start to feel like a recovery. Maybe not as good as a rest, but certainly enough that it'll set you up ready for the next 15 minutes. After all, we've only got just under 17 and a half to go. So, you know you've got this. It's just a matter of confidence, especially at this stage. And like I say, I'm rowing this at the same relative pacing as you, around about 2k plus 10 right now. And I, well, for the most part anyway, I'm talking my way through this. So if I can talk and row at 2k plus 10, then when all you're doing is listening and breathing, you should be able to hold it too. I'm not saying it's not tough, but it is manageable. Okay, 50 seconds left on this split, and then we drop down to 22 strokes a minute again, and 2k plus 16 pace. So you should be glad of the change that's about to happen, but you shouldn't be desperate and screaming out for it. Okay, almost there. One more stroke. Here we go. 22s. Whew. Just take a moment to get the rhythm right. Control your breathing. Get your pace locked in. Got another 5 minutes at this pace. And with any luck, the next 15 minutes will absolutely fly by. Chances are the next 10 minutes will fly by as you race towards that 26 again, and then the 26 will feel like it goes on forever. That is the time machine effect of the Concept 2 rowing machine. The easy stuff goes quick. The tough stuff, that can take forever. Often that's why distance workouts can feel a bit more rewarding than time workouts, because on a distance workout, the faster you go, the sooner you finish. On a timer workout like this, doesn't matter how fast you go, 12.5 minutes is still 12.5 minutes. Right, I'm hoping that your exertion point will hopefully have calmed down. It's a good chance, if you have a heart rate monitor on, that your heart rate won't really have dipped that much because you didn't take a rest to allow it to drop. You're still matching a lot of effort into the machine as you were before, so don't be surprised to see your heart rate still only 5 or 6 beats off where you finished the 26. Right, don't worry, I'm not forgotten about technique, I'm just giving you a break, and we'll pick it up again in a minute's time as we progress into 24 strokes a minute. Hopefully you will chalk this one down as a mid-tier hard workout that you had to hold on for, but that you knew you'll be able to complete it as long as you put in the work. And that's why we have these kind of sessions, is to make sure you put in the work. Okay, 2 more strokes, 1 more. Let's go up to 24. Again, really you're just increasing power enough to increase your stroke rate and see your pace drop by about 3 seconds. If you want to push the last 26 for that 5 minutes, or you want to sprint the end, by all means do, but don't push this 24. This is very important. As it's what chips away at you before that 26. Remember, if your extra power through the drive isn't enough to increase your stroke rate, remember your recovery is just as important. Get that handle away from you at the same pace you brought it in at. And then use that momentum to kickstart your body in its forward lean, tilting over your hips. And then once you have that forward lean and arms straight, that is when you finally bend your knees to recover. So you have to make sure the handle is past your knees before you bend them. And that momentum shift is what helps you at the higher stroke rates. You might not think you need it at 24 and below, but trust me, once you get to 26 and above, that's when it really starts to show, especially if you're the type that bends your knees first and has to throw the handle over your knees, because that will slow your recovery right down, making it harder to hit those high stroke rates. I mean, I can get up to, I think, 54 has been my highest. I'm sure if I tried to abandon any sense of control, I could go higher. And that's all because I'm getting that momentum shift to the front, and I'm powering out the front for a powerful drive, letting my legs do the work as I hang off the handle through most of the leg drive. My back swings from that forward to backward lean, and then I pull in to a finish. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go with our last 5 minutes, 26 strokes a minute. At 2k plus 10. And this one will feel tough. So please stay strong, push through it. You've only got 4.5 minutes to go. And then we'll have a quick cool down, and then shower, water, food. And guess what, folks? It's a Friday. Four minutes to go. And I like doing these session 6s on a Friday because I get to celebrate with spaghetti bolognese. Here we go. There's a spag bol reference. I am on brand. In fact, I don't know if I've ever used spag bol as the comments hashtag, but we certainly will today. All right, 3 minutes to go. So if you're going to leave a comment about today's row, tag hashtag spag bol so we can all celebrate Friday spaghetti together, whether you're eating it or not. Now, less than 2.5 to go. Fatigue may start to set in. So let's run down the key position points. posture, powerful at the front, up on your sit bones, braced core, looking straight ahead with a neutral chin, arms straight, relaxed, fingers hooked over the handle, not choking it in a death grip. Even if you turn your fingers round it a tiny little bit more to make sure those wrists are flat at the front. One minute to go. Shins to vertical. Hips tilted forwards to give you that forward lean. Then, as you start the drive, hold that forward lean. Brace your arms and your core and push with the legs. Really get those heels down, push the machine away, and then drive through, swinging over your hips and finishing strong with your arms. Okay, almost there. Last stroke. I don't know about you, but that was definitely right in the mid-tier zone. Felt I could have kept on going, but frankly, I didn't want to. Whereas the top tier, you're hanging off a dear life, hoping for it all to stop. Okay, so let me quickly load up our 2-minute cool down. Oh, it's been so long, it's miles away. There we go, 2. Connect, send. Right, just hang around with me for the next 2 minutes for the cool down, because it's very important, especially after a roll like that. In 3, 2, 1, go. So around about 18 strokes a minute again, similar to the warm-up. And quite a similar pace as well, to be honest. Maybe around about 2k plus 30. 4 out of 10 effort. Just enough for your legs to connect your arms into the flywheel or magnet or whatever you're rowing. Whew. Well, hope you enjoyed that. I have to say, such a nice night. I was starting to lose the desire to want to come out and do this, but I'm really glad you made me. Sometimes the best workouts are the ones that we weren't sure we wanted to do, but not only do I feel that was a good workout, I also feel I've earned my spag ball. I feel re-energized, and I also just feel mentally happy that I didn't give in to that little voice that just wanted to sit in the sun, maybe crack open a beer. It's not to say I won't be cracking open a beer with the spag ball, of course, but little deviation from healthy eating is sometimes good for you. Or for me. Don't know what it's like for you, but it's good for me. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to leave me some kind of a comment, either on Facebook or YouTube or whatever. Let me know how you got on. Let me know if you're enjoying this alternate 2k plan. Now I am going to extend this by a week. So whereas, cool down done. Whereas the previous 2k plan was only 4 weeks, this one's going to be 5. Why? Selfishly, so I can continue my story all about me. So you could always chop out week 4. Anyway, thank you so much for rowing along with me on this one. I hope you're enjoying everything that's going on. Do leave a comment and stuff. Make sure and stay safe, be well. Bye bye.